again, it could all come down to the Keystone State. We've been saying that really consistently leading up to yesterday, Election Day. And ballot counting in Philadelphia, it's a 24-hour operation.
This is live look inside the Pennsylvania Convention Center. Lest you think that we're overblowing this, this is the city's election headquarters. Dozens of people all morning long. And by morning, we need since midnight when you and I took over the shift here. NBC10's Randy Gyllenhaal live outside the convention center right now. Randy, you've been out there as well. They've been at this all night. They've been at this all morning now.
Yeah, so we're talking about counted and uncounted ballots in Philadelphia. City commissioners just releasing some new numbers. So we're now approaching 50% of all of the mail-in ballots counted, but that means 50% have not been counted either. And city commissioners tell us they're trying to avoid the political rhetoric and focus on this 24/7 counting operation that's happening behind me here at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. They tell me they don't have any deadline to finish, as poll workers here are counting around the clock.
We're working on it. So everybody's working. You can see the live stream. People are working. As soon as we have numbers, we'll let you know.
The 24/7 counting operation continues now with a new daytime shift of workers. And here are the latest numbers. We know about 353,000 mail-in absentee ballots were cast by Philly voters. So far, only 186,000 have been counted. That is less than half. So why is this taking a while? Well, first, the pandemic caused historic mail-in voting, but also state law says those mail ballots couldn't be touched until yesterday morning, while other states like Michigan and Florida, who counted very quickly, they were counting and processing their mail-in ballots well before Election Day.
We were allowed to begin reviewing the outer envelopes and then opening those envelopes and that whole assembly line. For a lot of other states, that was already done. So at 7 a.m., they could begin scanning results into the scanner to report. That's a big difference. Pennsylvania doesn't have an election law that allows us to do that until 7 a.m. on election morning.
Republicans in the state legislature blocking attempts by Democrats to count those ballots early. Meantime, so when could we be done? With some 200,000 ballots left, it'll take until at least tomorrow morning to finish. And the majority of mail-in ballots we know are coming from registered Democrats. So Democrats believe we could be seeing what they call a red mirage. Those earlier in-person votes counted, making it seem like the Commonwealth supports President Trump. But then that blue shift as the mail-in ballots are counted. It is really unclear right now whether Joe Biden will have enough support in those mail-in ballots to overcome President Trump's strong turnout in rural counties across Pennsylvania. Right now, no decision. There's no result as counting is still continuing. Behind me, all of the votes have not been counted yet. Expecting another update of numbers at some point this afternoon. Live in Center City, I'm Randy Gyllenhaal, NBC 10 News. Count on it.
Randy, thanks. Members of the Pennsylvania Election Protection Coalition held a Zoom call this morning about ongoing efforts to count ballots. The nonpartisan group monitors activity at polling places and online posts and any voting problems and questions. Also this morning, Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro spoke on the Today Show about why Pennsylvania's count is going so slowly.
Pennsylvania is new to the vote by mail game, right? A number of states have been doing it for a long time. Our vote by mail statute just started about a year and a half ago. This is the first election where it's being done. It's not about the speed, it's about the accuracy. And so we just have to have some patience.
Shapiro says if Pennsylvania's results are contested, he says the state is ready to fight the results and the voting process in court. Joe Biden has won 2 of our 3 states, the former VP winning in New Jersey, picking up 14 electoral votes there. New Jersey, of course, traditionally blue.
Hillary Clinton won the state in 2016 by more than 545,000 votes. And Biden wins his home state of Delaware. The first state comes with 3 electoral votes.
He won by about 100,000 votes and almost 60% of the vote there. With millions of votes still needing to be counted, the presidential remains too close to call right now.
Yeah, both candidates addressed the nation overnight, both confident that they would win. NBC10's Miguel Martinez-Valle, he's live once again in Wilmington, where Joe Biden spoke, and he's got the messages from both Biden and the president. Miguel.
That's right. Here in Wilmington, we're hoping to hear from Joe Biden at some point today, but we did get to speak to his campaign team just a few minutes ago, and they are sounding more than optimistic. They are claiming that Joe Biden is en route to be the next president of the United States and saying that they see him taking a lot of these states that are up for grabs, including Pennsylvania. Now, while this is happening, though, President Trump, he's taking to Twitter with this message. Take a look at this tweet. He writes, "Last night, I was leading, often solidly, in many key states, in almost all instances, Democrat-run and controlled. Then, one by one, they started to magically disappear as surprise ballot dumps were counted. Very strange, and the pollsters got it completely and historically wrong." Now, the president also falsely claimed victory last night and said Democrats are trying to steal the election, but of course, we still have millions of votes that need to be counted. Pennsylvania officials have said they will continue counting every vote without outside influence. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's campaign said if Trump got his way and votes were counted, were to end being counted, Biden would be ahead.
If Donald Trump got his wish and we stopped counting ballots right now, Vice President Joe Biden would be the next president of the United States. The vice president will fight for every vote to be counted. Some of the outstanding votes will be for the vice president. Some of them are going to be for Donald Trump. But the vice president believes they all should be counted.
Now, the Biden campaign also said that they are fully prepared to counter any court efforts brought against them by Republicans. I'll send it back to you. I'm Miguel Martinez-Valle, NBC 10 News.
Miguel, thanks. We want to check in on a few other races in our area as well.
Yeah, let's start with the U.S. Senate race. Cory Booker easily won re-election against his Republican opponent. He'll continue to represent New Jersey in the Senate.
And incumbent Senator Chris Coons will hold on to his seat. The Democrat holds a big lead over his Republican challenger. The Democrat has held Joe Biden's former Senate seat since 2010.
Let's stay in Delaware. The governor of the first state will keep his title for another term. Delaware Governor John Carney is the projected winner, beating out his Republican opponent.